Hello, what's up guys? I'm Kyle from KGR, and today we are going to be doing a review on the Bring Art Neku from The World Ends With You Final Remix. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you, I never played The World Ends With You, and there's a couple of reasons why I got it. One, he's getting an anime, and I wanted to get it now before the anime got popular, and I wanted to get it then, and then he'll probably just go up to like 120, around there, maybe less, maybe more. Two, I love the way he's designed. I'm gonna get more into that soon. And plus, you know, he goes well with the Kingdom Hearts line because he was in Dream Drop Distance. And three, I was always fascinated with World Ends With You. My friend since high school played it back when we were in high school, and he loved it. And he's been telling me to play it, but I don't play games that are very dialogue driven because I just skip through dialogue when I play games. I want to see the cutscenes and I want to play the gameplay, but that's about it. Reading stuff, I do every once in a while, but when the whole game is just driven to read stuff, but I do love the game's art style though. So maybe I'll give the game a chance, maybe after the anime comes out, maybe, because I want to know what these characters are going to sound like. I want to know what their voices are going to be. That's just me. That's my preference. And to be honest, I've wanted this figure for months, and now that the anime's coming out, I now have an excuse to buy him. And I don't regret it. It's a really cool looking figure. It's honestly one of the best Bring Arts figures out there so far. I still want to get Cloud. I might get Cloud, but this one is definitely better than any of the Kingdom Hearts figures I've gotten. Like, it's top notch. But let's take a closer look at this guy. And the main thing that I love is I love his design. I love his little hood / collar thing, like just like covering half his face. The skinniness, normally like that gross me up because I'm a fat guy and I like some meat on some bones, but for some reason it works so well with this character. You know, anime and all that jazz. I just love the way this figure looks. I love his headphones, like I love his hair, and I love how angular the shorts are. Like here, the game, when it comes to its like little, I want to say cutscenes, but they're just like the dialogue stuff. When it shows the characters during those dialogue little cutscenes, they have a very manga-esque art style, and it really translates extremely well to this action figure. Like, he was in Kingdom Hearts, like I said earlier, but like they did not carry over that art style from World Ends With You to Kingdom Hearts. They just like converted it, I guess. Like, they made it the Kingdom Hearts style, but you know, same characters. And I mean, they looked fine in Kingdom Hearts, but like they definitely look a lot better in World Ends With You, and they capture the World Ends With You as an action figure perfectly. Like, this is the best translation from video game to action figure that I've seen in a very long time. And when you look at him from every angle, like, his silhouette just looks remarkable. Like, it's so like iconic. Like, this is a very unappreciated video game from what I'm aware of, so that's why I'm happy that it's getting an anime, so I hope it gets a second life that way. But man, this just looks fantastic. I love this so much. But let's go over the articulation real quick. So when it comes to the head, it's very limited. So the head itself is on a ball peg, and that moves around freely, but then the neck itself also moves, but it doesn't help that the collar, even though it's big, it does restrict the articulation very much, which I'm pretty sure if you're getting this figure, you're kind of expecting that. You can move the head a little bit, but not too much. You can bring it up so you can see his mouth, but personally, I like his mouth being covered because I like him looking emo. When it comes to the shoulders, they go out about that high, and then they go forward and back, and it's on a double ball type of situation, so you can actually move the shoulder decently well. And then we have a swivel up in the arm as well. And then we get, I don't know exactly what that is. It'd probably be like 100 to 120 degrees or so. I don't know. It's a decent bend. It works pretty well. And then we get a hinge right in the wrist, so you can take that forward and backwards as much as you want. And then we get a swivel right in here, so you can rotate that around. And then we also get a peg into the hand, so you can rotate that if you want. And then when it comes to the ab crunch, the necklace does limit it from going forward a little bit, but if that necklace wasn't there, it would have pretty decent range. Like, look how far he can go back. It goes back really well. and then going side to side, you do get a decent bit of movement in there. So it's a little bit of a shame that the necklace kind of restricts that, but what can you do? I'm more disappointed with the abs not going forward more than the head. The head I kind of expected, but the necklace, to be honest, that disappoints me. We do get some movement around the waist as well, but I'm not sure how many people are actually going to use that. I never really thought about using it, but if you're planning on doing it, then there you go. It's there. It's a little bit tight at first, but I think it's better to be a little bit too tight than too loose. And then we got the legs on ball sockets, so you can take them forward, and luckily the belt and pretty much this whole part right here is all rubbery. So you can move it as much as you need to without it being too restricted. The butt does restrict it a little bit, but if you pull it back enough, it does hold its pose very well. And then we get a good bend at the knee. It's probably about like 90 degrees, so that's fine enough for me. And then when it comes to moving the legs side to side, like if you want to put it on a swivel, that point is actually underneath the shorts, like going the leg into there. So there you go. That works really well. The Bring Arts figures typically don't have any articulation within the boot itself. I kind of wish it was a ball socket in there, but what can you do? But instead, they have movement going forward and back on a hinge. And then you can also twist that side to side if you need to. And then we have a swivel to go left and right that way. So even though it does lack that ball socket, it does make up for it half decently well. But overall, I think it's a well-articulated figure. The only problem that I have with the articulation is its skinniness. Like, this looks like it's going to be a very brittle figure, but so far I haven't broken it and I don't have any fear of breaking it. But I do have one fear though: the joints themselves. I don't know exactly what they're called. I'm not an engineer, but it has like a little pin set up, so it has a pin going through a couple of little holes keeping this joint together. Now this one in particular has been trying to fall apart on me, and luckily I just got tweezers to just squeeze it together, but that's only temporary. So if there's any gurus out there that are watching this video, if you know a better way to repair that socket, that little pin I mean, please let me know. This is a common issue with Bring Arts figures, and I have quite a few figures that have the same type of mechanism, and I would love to fix them. They haven't broken, but they are coming loose. When it comes to accessories, he does come with a decent amount. Now with SH Figuarts or Figma, you're just so used to just swapping out the faces, but with Bring Arts, they just make you swap the whole head, which makes it a lot easier, but sadly more expensive. So we have this face where it's just a normal neutral face. We have the closed eyes, which personally this is my favorite head. This is the one I pose with on the shelf. We have a shocked face, as well as a shouting face. When it comes to hands, we have a set of fists. We got a set of relaxed hands. We have a jazz hand, as well as, I think this is supposed to be his psychic powers. I don't know, this is an effect part hand. And there is a hand within there, and it kind of makes me sad that we don't actually have that hand separate. But, I mean, it works. It's fine. I'm okay with it. He also does come with a stand, but trying to get the stand out of the box, I ended up snapping it in half, which is a shame because it's a good stand. It works really well from what I can see, and I don't know a way to replace it. The only way I know is to send the whole thing back to Amazon and just get another one, which I'm not sure if I really want to do that. I don't care about it that much. I have the SH Figuarts stands. They work fine enough, but it would be nice to have more stands. But before I go over like my final thoughts, I forgot to mention, I love how fluid this figure moves. Like, Figma is pretty much the same way, but for some reason, SH Figuarts on some figures, especially Sora, I don't know, you gotta like maneuver everything to make everything work the way you want it. But Bring Arts, they function so well. Like, any pose you want, you can do. Like, you can have him do that with relative ease. It's not hard, and it's nice. While the joints on, like, SH Figuarts are so janky, and I don't know, it's just not as fun to play with a SH Figuarts compared to a Bring Arts, for example. Which was why I kind of hope that Bring Arts makes Kingdom Hearts 2 figures, which I doubt they will, but if they do, I would buy them. They have technically done some Kingdom Hearts 2 figures. They've done like the different forms of Sora. Like they did, like, I think it was a Halloween Town version of Sora in the Bring Arts line from Kingdom Hearts 2, and it looks good. Just bring me a normal Sora, please. Now, sadly, I don't have a ruler to measure this guy, but I think it's better to actually compare it to other figures, so I do have some pulled aside. So, to the left, we are going to have the SH Figuarts Sora, which I think scales extremely well. I think it works really well. Then we also have the Bring Arts Sora from Kingdom Hearts 3, which this Sora is a little bit taller, so take that as you will. Don't fall over. Oh, you fell over. Oh, anyway, there you go. Yeah, like Sora is a little bit taller from Bring Arts, but I'm pretty sure that's how it's supposed to be scaled. But I like the way he scales compared to the SH Figuarts. I think it works really well, and plus it kind of matches a little bit more because you do see this look a little bit in Birth by Sleep, but they don't meet that way. But whatever. I'm fine with it. It works. But in case some of you guys don't have the SH Figuarts Sora or the Bring Arts Sora, I do have some Figmas as well, which I have the My Hero Academia to compare to, because I know Deku's a little bit short and Bakugo's a little bit bigger, but overall I think he scales pretty well. Like Bring Arts, SH Figuarts, and Figma tend to scale really well with each other, so that's what you're expecting. There you go. So overall, what are my thoughts on this figure? I think he's definitely worth picking up. He is by far one of the best Bring Arts out there. I want to get Cloud as well to compare it, but so far this is my favorite Bring Arts figure, hands down. I have a good chunk of the Kingdom Hearts ones, not all of them, but a good chunk, but this is hands down one of the best Bring Arts figures out there. Like, I love how much it captures the look of the game. Like, it is amazing looking. It is immaculate. And as of right now, he's $74 on Amazon as of this recording. But by the time that show comes out, he might go up. I know the Kingdom Hearts Bring Arts figures, even the SH Figuarts of Kingdom Hearts, have gone up like crazy. And I'm not sure if this guy got a big production line, because compared to, let's say, Bring Arts Sora, Sora is probably going to sell more because he's more popular. But with the anime coming out, I'm pretty sure he might get popular. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe it'll still be a underrated or niche thing. Maybe it will catch up into the mainstream. We'll see what happens. I can't predict that. So if you're slightly curious of The World Ends With You, pick it up now before the stock sells out. I know GameStop sold it at one point, and that was like 60 bucks, and that dropped down. Sadly, it's gone. It's sold out. But everywhere else, I see it for about $74 to $75 or so. For the places that I know have it in stock for a good deal, I will put down links in the description. I will go from best listings to worst listings, because eventually the best listings are going to be gone and just skyrocketed. But there could be better options that may end up making the worst options better in the long run. I got you guys. I got you on the lookout. And that's all I gotta say about this figure. So if you're new and you like what you saw, you know what to do. In the description, there's my social medias, and I would say follow me on Twitter, because I might do some polls on there, as well as here on YouTube maybe, about the next figures I'm going to review. I highly recommend checking out my Instagram, because I do pictures of action figures all the time. In fact, I've actually done quite a few shoots with Neku, with Sora, so check it out. I think you might like it. But let me know in the comments, do you plan on picking this up? Do you have some other Kingdom Hearts figures that have to go with him? Or do you plan on picking him up by himself? I really want to know what you guys say in the comments, because I'm a small channel. I read all the comments. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys to death, and I will see y'all in the next one. So, peace.